Welcome to Almost Functional Gaming. We aim to help all followers of Russ and the Allfather to improve on the tabletop. List building, tournament recaps, unit reviews, weekly council of the Fang, and other tips to help us all go from almost functional to fully functional. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional score tracker on Amazon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. Here again with Aiden.
Happy Tuesday. What's up, Brian? I saw you were here early.
Yeah, Brian was in here early, chilling.
Wow, good to see you. Good to be back. Another Tuesday talking about Wolves. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing really good. I'm not going to get too much into it because it was Index Wolves, but I was at ATC over the weekend. Put a video out about that if you want to see how the old Wolves did on their last run for me, but we're leaving that in the past and we're on to the Codex.
Yeah, on to the Codex. And we got changes to the Codex before we even got to play it.
Yeah.
Wow. Things switched around a little bit.
Yeah, only major one, I think, was the Iron Priest change, the change to make it so you can't join Murderfang or Wolf and Dreadnought. I think we all knew was coming. Like, that was just an oversight.
Yeah, clarification to the head taker rules so they can declare a quarry in the transport. That's pretty standard. I'm glad they cleared that up.
Yeah, wow. But basically all the lists we built before, just swap the Predators for Lancers and find the points for it.
Yeah. What's up, Green Machine? What's up? It is a change. Like, we definitely switch around our shooting now. We don't shoot as hard. We still shoot pretty damn hard.
Yeah, that's fine. Us with those Predators was really a little over the top. It was fun, but
man, just a moment of silence for the 8-shot Predator that could do like 20 wounds to a knight, 135 points.
Yeah, that turn one picked up a Wraith Brick with Technomancer and Crypto Thralls for me.
Oh my gosh, rest in peace. Mike, good to see you. Good to see you. We got some German folk in the chat, so I'm happy people are tuning in. Hogfather, as always, good to see you. Champion of Fenris. Ooh, spicy. I'm curious to see.
I got something cooking for that. I got something cooking for Champions of Fenris.
I'm really excited to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, but I got some tech I want to get into with later, but we'll do that tonight. We're going to do the tier list, so we'll get into that later when I wrap up and just our rambling later on.
Yeah. I mean, like, how do you feel like overall we changed with that one tweak to the Iron Priest?
Well, I think before you had to take one, if not two, with two good tanks.
Yep.
Now it's like you can, it helps, but I don't think you have to anymore.
Right.
Now I think you get away with one or even none. Maybe even just go full combat now. I like to have a little shooting most of the time, but it's not so overpowered good that you just can't leave it behind now.
Yeah, exactly. List building, I mean, you saw with our detachment lists, like most of the time, the first 800 points were all the same.
Yep.
Because Iron Priests were so good, Predators were so good, Logan's amazing, Thunderwolf Cavalry are amazing. So it's like, I'm sad to see him get nerfed because it was fun, but also definitely warranted for sure. And
absolutely,
we have a lot of other areas to explore.
Yeah, and still decent shooting. So I mean, it's not. We can still even take a Tech Marine now for the +1 to hit instead, depending on what tanks you're bringing.
Totally. I mean, I also still think we can go lean into heavy shooting Iron Priests, like in Ironstorm. I think is still a really strong build with some Iron Priests and Rep X's or Lancers or what have you.
Yeah, you just tech more into the stuff that has minimal big shots, as opposed to trying to find the one that had the most guns that had big shots, so you could spam the rapid fire across.
Exactly. Cool.
All right, cool. We'll go ahead and bring this up here so we can get started on this tier list. So the first thing we have here, we have First Company Task Force. So what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, man.
I like it a little bit.
It's as a whole, even without Space Wolves, it's a little underpowered as a detachment. Yep. It has some really cool stuff like -1 damage, reroll wounds once per game is really powerful. There aren't a lot of ways to get reroll wounds. To me, I think this still sits in like the B, C tier. What are your thoughts?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you want to rank this where it sits in the meta or where it sits in regards to wolves? Like the
Definitely
worst wolf?
wolves.
Definitely wolves.
Definitely
All right.
wolves. If you're playing wolves, what is the strongest to weakest detachment that you can
Yeah.
play wolves with?
All right. So you think it's just middle of the detachments?
Yeah, I would even lean toward the lower end. You've
Yeah.
played this? What do you think? What are your
Well, I
thoughts?
haven't played it with new wolves, but it does really, really buff Terminators.
Okay.
But we only have 2 character options, so then you're starting to lean into regular Terminators who still only move 5. So I think in meta, I think it'd be B. In regards to wolves, I think C is a good spot for it.
Is a solid spot. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'd be curious just to take them. Oh, man, if only head takers got the right keyword, that would be
Oh yeah,
great.
if head takers got all the keywords Blade Guard had, so you could switch them into detachment, yeah, that would make a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. Hogpaw's got a question for us. Do you start Logan and his boys on the board?
Oh.
Because with him and Arjack, 10 termies is too many points in deep strike. Yeah, if you're running 2x5 and Logan and Arjack, I mean, Matt, how do you run it?
Well, so he's running a 10-man, so it's to me. I run both of them with 5-mans, and so they both fit. So I put Logan in strategic, and then I rapid Arjack. But if you're running a 10-man, then yeah, you pretty much have to start him on the board.
Yeah,
if you
I
want
would
to deep strike that Arjack.
be wary of armies that really like to push early.
Mm-hmm.
There are some armies that can get in your face really early on, and so they push back your rapid ingress, like Guard with a lot of screening.
Yep.
Anything that has really fast screens early on, I might start one squad on the board because that way they can't get pushed back too far.
Yeah. That's why I was bringing scouts. So I know my turn 1 really can't get pushed back too far, and then you rapid ingress. It depends on if you're going first or second. If you're going first, you can be a little more aggressive with them. You're going second, you really just get to deploy them late into a position where they can help support what your opponent has done on their first 2 turns,
Totally.
their first 2 movement phases.
Yeah.
So I like them both. But yeah, if you're running a 10-man, I guess you just try to start maybe Logan on the board. But I prefer having just the 2 5s. That way I can drop Logan like dead center somewhere hidden, and then have Arjack harass a flank.
Totally. Yeah. All right, Anvil Siege Force. What are we thinking for this one?
In regard to wolves, especially after the Iron Priest change, I think it's down here.
Yeah, it doesn't really benefit wolves. It's like you're standing still. You can buff OC. You can like reroll wounds and shooting. There's just not a lot of synergy with what we have.
Yep. I did in the list I built, not y'all with some Greyhounders with that buff to OC thing. It can be a really, really funny trick, but it's not enough to push this list up.
No, not really, unfortunately. All right, here's a good one. Saga the Beast Slayer.
Well, Brian, yeah, as we were saying, you can bring them down turn 1, but the way Hogfather was running them, it's too many points to put them both into reserve. So I normally run 2 5-mans, drop Logan turn 1, and then rapid ingress Arjack. But if you run a 10-man Termi with Arjack, you can't afford to put Logans in there too because it takes you over the 1,000-point restriction. So next up, we got Saga the Beast Slayer. They don't have an E, so I don't know where to put this.
Saga the Beast Slayer. My God.
I think for wolves, in terms of wolves, I believe this is where most people have it.
Yeah, this detachment buffs damage like crazy, shooting and melee. It has a little bit of movement. Definitely feel lack of advance and charge, fall back and charge. But it has, I mean, most things you would want.
Well, the fact that you don't really even have to complete the saga, you get the lethal hits against the stuff you normally want lethal hits against, in most cases, just right off the bat without doing anything, is just super, super good.
Yeah, and then +1 to wound, regardless of if you charge or not, always amazing. I think there's you could lean into heavy shooting with lethals. You could lean into heavy melee. Maybe more Wolfen heavy build with all the blood surges.
Well, yeah, you can add the character to them. You get the blood surges. I really like that. Blood claws. So you want to go horde blood claws in this? Just anything where you just throw so many attacks at them that the lethal starts stacking. It'd be really, really good in this detachment.
Yeah, this detachment has a really good build diversity. You can build one of 50 different lists and have it be quite competitive. So I really do think it's up there.
Yeah, the repulsor with its defense array, a Gatling Redemption, like anything where you just put out shots, which really gets buffed by this detachment.
Yeah, totally. All right, Saga of the Bold. You've played this quite a bit. There are a couple of things in here that I rate really highly. The strats are incredible. The enhancement to stand back up on the Combi Lieutenant is absolutely amazing. What are your thoughts?
I think a lot of people have it here. For me personally, I have it right up here with Beast Slayer. The detachment rule isn't as good, but the threat of the charging them on their turn,
Yeah,
is really, really good. It's one of our only detachments. It's the only Space Wolf specific detachment where we gain advance and charge.
mm-hmm.
You can get lethal hits. You can get reroll hits on a second unit, which is big with us losing Logan's old rule.
Yep.
And then you have a -1 damage strat, which is amazing on the
So
Terminators
powerful.
and the Head Takers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the strats are really, really good. And then you got Thunderwolf's Fortitude, which on a Lone Op Lieutenant or some other things is just really, really strong.
So we're going to talk about this when we get to the next Space Wolf detachment. What do you think this outshines Beast Slayer? Do you think Beast Slayer outshines Bold? Bold outshines Beast Slayer? What are your thoughts?
I think they make different units work.
Right.
I think Bold, then they have different play styles. Bold really, really works for me, but I have a feeling a lot of people will think it's here. I think Beast Slayer will end up being what most people have success with, just because it's a little easier to play. I think there's a little more technical aspect, like
nuance to piloting.
Yep, to Bold, which kind of just fits the way I like to play anyway. Just all the buffs fit like the way I naturally play Space Wolves. So I think most people find it more around the A tier, but for me it's S, but I think we can leave it in A.
Well, I think it's S because of all of the incredible strats that it has.
Yeah.
Every single strat is absolutely amazing. For me, I think Beast Slayer edges it out a little bit because it's a lot easier to play. It just it buffs the damage everywhere, and it also I think there's a little more build diversity in Beast Slayer. Yeah, Brick is saying find Beast Slayer great. Issue really is a lack of advance and charge. Yeah, your threat range is severely limited with Beast Slayer. You have to.
You're forced into taking Ragnar and Blood Claws if you want to have a lot of advance and charge in that. Whereas that's why in my Bold list, I know to bring Ragnar anyway, so now I have access to 2 units advancing and charging that aren't Blood Claws.
Yeah, absolutely. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think there's a little more build diversity in Beast Slayer. That's why I think I would put it slightly ahead of Bold. I think Bold really wants to go character melee heavy, which is very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, Beast Slayer definitely has more builds that'll work in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next up we got the Firestorm Assault Force. This is the one you picked for when we were first building the list. What are your thoughts here?
I think it's a really solid all-around detachment. Assault and +1 strength is just really good. It does give you the really great +1 to wound and shooting and melee for infantry, which is you really need. It has a couple tricks. It has a couple durability buffs. I think it's a solid B. It builds more like a Space Marine detachment more than a Space Wolf detachment, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's basically a Space Marine detachment, and you throw 1 or 2 combat wolf units in there, and then the Iron Priest.
Yes, yeah, Iron Priest, and like we were talking about earlier in the show, like would be higher up if the Iron Priest hadn't gotten nerfed. There's a couple others that I think are going to be shuffle around because of the adjustment to the Iron Priest. So solid B. It's decent all around.
All right, Gladius Task Force, vanilla, the most vanilla detachment, but it's got everything you want.
F. Throw it away. Throw it in the bin. No, I'm just kidding. What do you think?
I think it's probably S. It's A at least. I think it's gonna be one. It's one of the easiest to play.
Yep.
Because it just You want to advance in charge? You want to shoot in charge? You want to fall back in charge? Like, you can do any of that. So, I mean, really, I think it's probably S tier just because you can, just like Beastlayer, you have a lot of different builds, probably even more builds, and it just buffs any of them.
Yeah, Gladius does everything. I think it does break the S tier because it buffs every single aspect of the army, the movement, the damage. It does a bit of everything. It's more of a toolkit than I think all of our other detachments.
Absolutely.
Gosh. I'm going to be real here, Matt. This pains me to say it, but I do wonder if it edges out our spacewell detachments.
I think for generic people that are jumping on Space Wolves, it will. But I think people who really, really know Space Wolves and how to play them, I think, could make these detachments work a little more than by just going into more of the weeds. People who just like want to just build a Marine list and add a dash of Space Wolf on top are going to go Gladius.
Yeah, I think, you're right. Gladius is going to be easier to pilot, easier to pick up. There's less nuance to it. I really do think if you have a skilled faction expert, that the sagas can be quite better than the regular Space Marine detachments.
And I think in a mirror, I would be preferring to play Bold or Beast Slayer if I was playing someone playing Gladius Wolves.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so next up, we got Saga of the Hunter, the last of the new detachments.
So I played a bit of Saga of the Hunter. Yeah, Brix is saying he believes it allows you to use more base Space Marine units versus base Space Wolf units.
Correct.
Yeah, it does lean more towards a regular Space Marine. You can throw in a bunch of melee, but you're taking a lot of generic Space Marine units.
Absolutely. So I think Hunter, it's not S tier. I don't think it's quite as good as the others, but I think it's probably A. I think it's above Firestorm and stuff.
For
It's
sure.
got a good Space Wolf flavored build to it, and I think you can be successful with it.
Yeah, it does have some real power. It's pretty easy access to +1 hidden wound for almost your whole army, like turn 2 or turn 3 onward. It's got some cool movement tricks like pawn consolidate 6, move over models, fall back and charge. It's a solid A. Like I think you're right. Bold does beat it out. Beastlayer does beat it out, but Hunter, I could see it being a GT winning detachment.
Oh yeah, you get the right matchup, Hunter would do really, really well. All right, next up, we're going to have Iron Storm.
Ooh, okay. I have some thoughts about Iron Storm.
I thought this was here before the Iron Priest nerf.
Right.
Probably here, maybe even up here. But I think around here now. What are your thoughts?
I think it is. Oh man, I'm looking at the Iron Priest nerf, which is sad, and I'm looking at like what is the best case scenario for the Iron Priest now, and I see the best case scenario being really high damage weapons, Repulsor Executioner in Iron Storm with the lethal sustained crit 5s. And I'm like, whoa, that is a really heavy damage dealer that still hits. I think there is a real build here for Iron Storm you could lean into with really high damage shots like Lancers, or I would say Repulsor Executioners, Bjorn, Logan with some durability to just really lean into the strength of this detachment. I think this is at least an A. If you really build into it, I really do want to test some of the shooting in here. I think this is a case where our shooting is better than other Space Marine shooting.
Except for Ultramarines.
Yeah. Double oath, rerolling hits +1 wound on every turn. Can't beat that.
Yeah, the only thing is now our Iron Priests work better with low number of shots, which makes them less likely to trigger the sustained. So you don't get as much out of the Iron Storm stuff as you did with the 8-shot Predator.
Yeah, yeah, you don't get as much value, but like I said, I still think there is a very strong build with Ironstorm and Wolves.
Right.
All right, Librarius Conclave. So tell me about Librarius Conclave. You've been looking at it for a while.
Well, I just built that one list. Honestly, I think it's down here. There's some funny stuff you can do in it with Nayal and stuff, but if you're playing into Thousand Suns or Grey Knights, it jumps up a lot just because you get feel no pains against like their whole army. But I think it's down here for the most part.
Yeah, you barely take any Space Wolf units because we can only get one or two Psyker keywords in our units. And again, it's just not super strong detachment to start out with. So yeah, totally a D.
All right, then next we have Stormlance. Do I
Ooh,
have to even ask you what you think?
I think this is the strongest way to play wolves. What I think our strengths are as an army is really durable, quite fast, decently hard hitting units. Tons of 4-pin molds everywhere, tons of T6, tons of like strength 5, 3 damage. This detachment synergizes so well with what we do.
Yeah.
Which is really durable units that want to be advancing and charging, that want to fall back and charging. We have the best mounted unit, I think, potentially in the entire game. So Stormlance with all of those mounted strats are incredible. This buffs almost every. This synergizes well with almost all of the units that we have.
Well, yeah, it's funny because like they took away all the Thunderwolf characters, like they were trying to kill the jail, but with T6 Wolfen, Neg 1 to New Wound Terminators, the cheaper Thunderwolves, we almost jail better.
Yes, we really do. And now we have Wolfen that kill vehicles really well, like big stuff really well. We've got Thunderwolves that actually do more damage now. The Terminators get up the field really early, and they're a lot more durable. And Logan's got the Vectora. Like it just really leans into our strengths. So I think for me personally, this is the best attachment that, maybe I'm a bit biased because I've been playing, 200 games of Stormlance in the past year or two. So
No, I don't think you're wrong. It's just I like to do damage, and it does lack damage sometimes. It's just
totally.
about I'm going to hold you in deployment zone, and you're not going to score primary, and I'm going to win.
A lot of movement, a lot of durability. It does lack on the damage front, which is where Beast Slayer and Gladius and Bold can really shine.
Yeah, and I like killing stuff. So, but no, I definitely don't disagree with you that Storm is probably the best. It would probably be the most successful version of Space Wolves right now.
Totally. And also it's the easiest to pick up, even more than Gladius. Like Stormlance, you can have one brain cell and still win 3 or 4 games at a GT with Stormlance.
What's the toughest unit? Okay. Put that. Oh, I already have 3 of those. What's the next toughest unit? All right, 3 of those.
Yeah, exactly. Like literally. And then they all of a sudden they all have 4 pinballs. They all move.
Run them all at the opponent. He can't kill all of them. Look, he didn't score any primary. I win the game.
Yeah, literally. It's like the simplest game plan. You can unga bunga at your opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can now even play it a little Logan bringing stuff in and the enhancement to bring stuff in turn 1. Like you can bring 2 things in turn 1. So it's like you can play it a little more cagey if you want to now.
Yeah, I mean, I did play a lot of the Outrider brick back when I was running Stormlance with the old codex. So maybe I actually might look at that again because it did pretty solid work for me when I was running it. It does decent damage. It shoots decently, hits decently. Yeah.
All right. So next up, we got Vanguard.
Ooh. There aren't a lot of synergies with Vanguard and Wolves, unfortunately. We don't shoot, except for Grey Hunters, which shoot very mediocre.
Yep.
We're not a shooting army. Like the durability is cool. The infiltrate's cool. What do you think?
I think the only thing that's going for it is it makes us harder to kill when we're far away, which builds into our durability. So we're a little harder to kill. So there's more of our stuff makes it to you.
Yeah.
But that's it. So I don't think it's quite D because of that, but I don't think it makes it past C.
Yeah, it still has some cool tricks, I would say. It's a solid C.
And if you do the triple vect, it's S tier at annoying your opponent.
The triple vect, the dreaded triple vect. Every strat that you spend costs 4 CP.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know that's not how it works, but
but every strat you spend costs an extra CP.
exactly.
No matter where you are on the board, if you play it right.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right, and then last up we have Champions of Fenris, our Grotmus.
Okay, so what is up with Champions of Fenris?
What are your thoughts on this before I go on to my
Oh
spiel?
man, I've forgotten like all of the rules on it because I just didn't even think it was a real detachment for so long. Yeah, I'm
So
like trying to
basically,
remember what it does.
the gist of it is, if at the end of our opponent's fight phase or charge phase, if they're within 3 inches of us, we can declare a charge on them.
Right.
We have enhancement to make 1 unit do it at 6 inches. We have all Terminators in the detachment get +1 OC. We can give a unit stealth, which could be Terminators. You can uppy downy a Terminator squad. You can sticky an objective in your command phase. So just
Okay.
solid little stuff in there. It's not.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Honestly, the big weak point of Terminators is OC1. So putting an OC2 is actually quite powerful. The 3-inch and 6-inch heroic is really annoying to play around.
Yeah. And the uppy downy for wolves or for Terminators is nice.
Yeah.
Because something funny? Start Arject on the board. Your opponent gets first turn. You pick Arject up. Arject comes in turn 1 because he started on the board. Logan comes in turn 1 because
Oh my god.
Oh, look, I have a drop pod with Blade Guard or Head Takers or something in it. And I have all these combat units mid-board dropping on you turn 1.
Wow. Yeah, you can really push early. Brandon actually is pointing about Vanguard infiltrating 20-man block of Blood Claws. Go watch our Vanguard list building video because we do include a 20-man Blood Claw brick in there infiltrating. I'm pretty sure we had that.
I'm trying to remember. I think we did, yeah. Pretty sure, yeah, we took the put him with a Wolf Priest with the blade driven deep.
Yeah, because it'd be so funny charging with like how many 80 chainsword attacks? No,
they're 4 each. So
yeah, 80 chainsword attacks with +1 wound, and then why not give him precision on the first turn?
Yep, and we had Logan. We had a Lone Op Lieutenant with the Shadow War Veteran or whatever it's called, and we had the Calidus. So we built the 3 Vex in there. So that
it is really annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
Champions of Fenris. Wow.
Personally, think it could be right up here.
Oh, wow. I'm just so shocked that it's even above D tier.
Because neg 1 to wound Terminators that you can give stealth to and they become OC2 and you can uppy downy them. I think it's just
objective.
So my thought is when they put this detachment out, they had the codex in mind. Because it's so much better with the codex than the index.
Interesting. Wow. Because I'm going to have to see this on the table.
I think this is what I'm taking to my next event.
Champions of
Fenris, yeah.
Are you joking?
Nope. I promised I was going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to test it out tomorrow night on our Wednesday night 40K. So here's my current thought on it. I'm going to put Logan's unit in reserve. I'll start Arjek's units on the table. I'm taking Ragnar's and 6 Head Takers in an Impulsor.
Okay.
I'm taking a Drop Pod with a Judicar with 6 Blade Guard who has the 6-inch and the enhancement that lets you charge at 6 inches in your opponent's fight phase.
Wow.
And then I also have a 5-man Reaver squad in there filling up the last 5 spots. So with using scouts, if you can set it up, you can deep strike, you can drop this pod turn 1 behind some terrain next to your opponent's expansion objective. So now you have Reavers for -1 OC over there, and you have a Judicar squad that can 6-inch charge on their turn. So they can't just run a little unit over there to tag it and try to hold it. Because you're going to charge them on their turn, pick up their little unit, and then be charging into their line.
Yeah, that Judicar unit with fights first and 6-inch heroic is so nasty. Oh my god.
Yes, yeah. So if you get first turn, you can drop it super aggressive, especially if you use your scouts to stop them infiltrating or scouting over there to block you out. And if you go second and they start pushing that off, you pick Arjack up. You bring in the drop pod, Logan, and Arjack all turn one, either spread out or on one big clump somewhere just to overwhelm a flank. And I don't know what people do about that.
Yeah, and it's so much OC with -1 to wound on that, and like 3-inch heroic, so you can't really just move block it.
Yeah, so you got the Reavers giving you -1 OC in one spot. All the Terminators are 2 OC now.
2 OC each.
You can give them stealth when they shoot at them with something good.
Wow.
Like I'm not saying it beats everything, but I think some people will have some serious problems with that kind of pressure dropped on them turn one.
Wow. You know what? I think I'm okay with keeping Champions of Fenris up here because I want to see how much hate you're going to get from everyone that's like, no way, Champions of Fenris sucks. It's the worst. You know, like
Yep.
the haters are going to come for you.
Well, I will take it to some events and either prove them wrong or
Prove them
prove them
wrong.
right. Or
Yeah,
prove
that's
them right.
right.
We'll find out. It's all been theory because no one's really put it through the test. Dan tried it once, but after watching his game, that's why this isn't quite the build he had, but with the pod change, I think that helps. That like just being super aggressive with it, starting the one squad on the table, picking them up, and if you go second, have a pod, Logan, and Arjack all just swarming one area. Like,
yeah, you can put like 600, 800 points of your army in their face, like turn one. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah, because I was thinking about trying to do this list in bold, but in my brain, I thought drop pods used to not count toward your reserve limit. Now I don't see in their rules where it says that. Because I was thinking I could do Logan, Arjack both in reserve and bold with the pod, or even 2 pods, and then just drop that all turn one, and then Arjack would have to be turn 2 in like bold, and that would be crazy. Because you know what else you can do depending on your build? If you run bold, you could put, or not just bold, anything. You know what fits exactly in a pod that holds 12 models?
12 models. No, I'm not. I mean, like
Three head picker squads, all with characters.
Oh, that is really nice. And head
Drop
takers.
that somewhere, and now you have 3. If you want to count your CP reroll, 4 chances to hit a 9-inch charge out of that into someone's blind turn 1.
That is, 4 chances. That's got to be like an 80% or 90% chance to make that charge.
Yeah.
And those 3-mans are missiles. They are like.
Yeah,
they
and you could go, and if you're using them as missiles, you could go with the paired blade, and like they're going to hit something, they're going to damage your line, and then they're going to get picked up. And then I also thought about, well, what if I took a full squad with like Ragnar or something, Wolf Priest, whatever you want to give to them. So that fills up 7 slots. A little 3-man with the battle leader, that's another 4 slots. That leaves you 1 slot. And you know what else you could put in there in bold?
What?
A combi lieutenant with the thunder.
Oh my god! Ugh.
So they charge out of it. Now he's over here messing with your expansion or something. 12-inch low knob, pop back up. Like,
wow. You know what? Gosh, that would be so annoying going second against and just have your opponent just jam all these units into your face. Like,
the only problem is it takes up so much of your reserves that you can't do Logan and Arjack unless you do Champions of Fenris and start Arjack or Logan on the table and pick them up.
yeah, and also I have to say, if you're going second and you have that many units in reserve against a competent opponent, they're gonna like push it back. They're gonna push you back pretty far if they can. If they can. But if you do get the first drop with the scouts, that helps a lot.
Yeah. But as I say, if you just do, the 1 pod with the couple little units, the 3 little units, and then Logan in reserve, they push up. You still can have Ragnar or something. You can still have all your shooting. So, like, they're not going to push out too hard if you have some Iron Priest and shooting behind it.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Hogfather saying, please stop tempting me to buy a pack of drop pods. I know. Now I'm like, okay, what else could go in a drop pod?
I still had 2 on my shelf, so as far as I know, the old ones still work. It's just the new ones, because the footprint on the new ones doesn't even matter. It's just the core center that looks like a regular drop pod. That's
right.
So as far as I know, it's the same dimensions.
You know what's an interesting combo that we talked about, I've been thinking more and more about, is Inquisitor Draxus and 10 Grey Hunters in almost any detachment. I just really want to find a way to make Grey Hunters work. And I think just like 30 OC with 18-inch lone op that like reroll wounds all over the place and can come in on turn one, like that has, I feel like there's something there. I do want to try them out.
Yeah.
They work best in Firestorm, but like again, Gladius could work, Beastlayer could work, even Bold, like there's something in there that I really want to make these Grey Hunters work.
Yeah, I was thinking about that again earlier because I went through between yesterday and today and rewatched all our videos and copied the list now that the GW's up and put the list on all the videos so that because people kept asking for that.
Oh, that's great.
So I actually went back through all our lists today.
What's your favorite SKU list we made out of all of those attachments?
Best or favorite?
Favorite. It doesn't have to be the best.
Triple vect.
That's
hilarious. That is so fun. I don't know if it's good. I just know people are gonna bitch.
I know. God, and it's like that was the one where you put 20 blood claws on the line, infiltrating.
Yep.
That would be so obnoxious to deal with.
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
what's yours? Your 30 Wolfen Storm Shield build we did?
Honestly, yes. I think I really like the idea of like Max Wolfen.
Yeah. The other thing, you had Thunderwolves in there too. That was just like, I'm coming, deal something about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that just works in almost every detachment.
Yeah.
I think there also is some secret sauce with maybe Beastlayer where you run 60 Wolfen and then just like those Wolfen hit so hard, and they have lethals +1 to wound, they have sustain, anti-monster vehicle, they have blood surge, reactive move. It just like that list hits so freaking hard.
Yeah. The only thing I would say about our list here is we have more in S than anywhere else, which I don't seems weird to me. So I might almost do this. Just because it's not it's in contention with other wolf stuff.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. I could see that. This seems more balanced. Obviously, we think wolves are the best, which they are.
Yeah. Well, this isn't in the meta. This is in regards to how strong they are with wolves.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the heads above everything else. I think these three are in line with each other. Same here.
Champions of Fenris, man, that's crazy.
And here, and then this. Hey, when I went Nova with Champions of Fenris, y'all are gonna.
God, man, we'll throw a parade for you. That is going to be crazy. People are going to lose.
Even if Champions of Fenris is good enough to win Nova, I'm not there yet. So don't necessarily blame the detachment for my faults. But no, I think it can be all right. Well, we'll see how I feel about it once I actually play it on the table. I think it takes a little bit of pre-planning. Like when you move a unit up, you have to like space so that one of your other units is right behind it and can fit through. Mm-hmm. So when people charge, you're within 3, but too far for them to try to charge you, so you can heroic back it. Like, especially if you set up with a Thunderwolf squad, so they get to 3 damage on your opponent's turn, or that Judicar squad. So you have to set it up because like that's one thing I noticed in Dan's game. And it was his first champ. So this is nothing against Dan. It was just his first time running champions. Is a couple times he got charged and he was like a half inch to an inch. The unit behind was just out. So you can, if you pre-think about it, which is something it takes playing the detachment multiple times. So when you move, you just automatically think about, let me make sure this supporting squad, if they touch my unit, I'm automatically within 3 inches. Like there's no way to touch this front unit without being, especially in a melee matchup.
Yeah. I feel like that rule, the 3-inch charge and the 6-inch charge, is so nuanced. Like it takes so much mastery to set up traps for your opponent. Like
6 inches a little easier because you just be like, all right, I'm just in this building that's just barely touching an objective. If you touch the objective, I'm coming at you.
Yeah, exactly.
The 3 takes a lot more. That's why I like Bold, because it has a strat for it. So it's like you can do it basically anywhere on the table. The 6-inch, they know where that's at in Fenris, which is the one problem, but it almost forces them not to come that way. So you can almost use it as a space maker. Like they don't want to come near it.
Yeah, it does make a lot of space. There are a couple of ways to do that as well. So, yeah, here are all the detachments. Which one are you most excited to play?
Bold's just so far. Bold's the one that spoke to me the most. Like, I'm excited to play Fenris just because I want to see if I can make it work. But if I just like, all right, you only get to play one detachment one time and that's it, I would pick Bold.
Yeah, yeah. I do have a home in Stormlance, but I really do want to try out some skew builds with Beastlayer, maybe Hunter, and also Ironstorm. I do want to try out the Iron Wolves.
Yeah, and I want to try. I want to play around with First Company too. I just want to take max Terminators, maybe one Blade card with Judicard just because the fight first nice, and they get some buffs in there. If Head Takers got to work in that detachment, I would take them instead. But
Well, they kind of do. I mean, what do head takers love with their dev wounds is reroll wounds. And the one, I'm pretty sure like the only way they can get reroll wounds is from the first company detachment rule. So when you really want to kill something, that big Canis Rex,
yep.
You're like, hey, here's like all these dev wounds, 2 damage, rerolling wounds.
Yeah, I just like it's the only problem is half, if not all, the strats say Terminator, Blade Guard, Stern Guard, or Vanguard, or whatever.
Yeah, I wish they did work on head takers.
It's like the sticky objective's nice. Your Terminators drop in, or your Blade Guard charge and kill it. Sticky the objective. You can keep pushing off. Now they got to come through your Terminators, or try to drop behind you. Which if you run an infiltrator squad or something, which I normally do, that's really hard to drop behind the Terminator line.
But, yeah, exactly.
So I'll probably go Fenris, Bold, then First Company with the order I play around with stuff.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try out Ironstorm this week and just go full shooting and see if it actually works with the Iron Priest changes.
Although as much as I enjoyed Bold when I was playing testing, I could see once I get on Bold, getting stuck on Bold for a while just because I like the play style.
There is also that like black hole or the gravitational pull. Like I'm definitely going to lean towards Stormlance. You're definitely going to lean towards Bold. Man, let me tell you, it just is such a like gravitational pull when you see how much T6 Forbidden Bones you can put in a list, and you're like, oh man, and then you wear wolf jail again.
Yep. You know what detachment I'd really want to play around with?
What's that?
Champions of Russ.
Oh man, if we had Champions of Russ with these,
dude, if I had Champions of Russ, I would. Champions of Russ pre-Iron Priest nerf, I think we would be possibly one of the strongest armies in the game, if not the.
Geez, everything gets advanced charge, fall back and charge. Everything gets sustained. Lethal Lance, the Black Death, Wolfguard Battle Leader.
Feel no pains, +1 OC.
Ugh. Man, that is so crazy. That would be incredible.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm really, really going to miss out of the old book is that detachment.
You know, it's interesting. I think all of the codexes kept their index.
Yeah, I'm not going to say all, but I like 99% of them did, just with some slight tweaks and maybe a name change, but the basic rules were still there.
We lost our index.
I think they knew Wolves would be too powerful with it.
Way too powerful. Yeah, it would definitely be the best way to run.
Most of these detachments have like a half or a quarter of the champion to finish role, and we still think they're good.
Yes, exactly. Oh, Lethal's Lance. Sustain Lethal's Lance +1 AP. There's so little ways to get +1 AP. It's crazy.
6-inch consolidate.
6-inch, yeah.
5 up, feel no pain. 4 up, feel no pain. Like
against mortal wounds.
And psychic.
Very good against Thousand Suns.
And we still had armor contempt.
Man, can I just take a second to say, like, screw Thousand Suns, man. Like, first of all, Space Wolf and Thousand Suns just hate each other, but like my opponent's just like, yeah, so my Psyker moves 30 inches and does like 10 mortal wounds, and then also I reroll everything against you, and then I'm also +1 AP, and I'm like, why? And he's like, no, just do it. It's like, god damn, this is so annoying, man.
Yeah, we'll also screw 6-inch deep striking Death Shroud Terminators.
Yeah, that's a challenge. That is really a challenge.
Yeah, I've mostly played against 3-mans, which when I was running my Canis build and Champions of Russ, I didn't have much problem with.
Mm-hmm.
But this weekend, without having Canis, because I had a Knight player on my team, and I played somebody who was running 15, he had a 6-man, where he had 2 6-mans and a 3. Those 6-mans are a problem. They just picked up wolf squads when they hit them.
Yeah, let me tell you, like, I feel so confident in our durability with all the T6, T5 -1 wound, and the 4-up invulns, but they're like Death Shroud are exactly the right profile to just chew through all of our
lethal
durability.
sustained with those characters. Like it's
Lance,
brutal.
like even with and they gave us -1 toughness and they get Lance anyway, so they're just winning on 2s all the time.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh, your Thunderbolt's winning you on 2s. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, like the 3-man will hand you like 25 2-damage saves, and you're like, shit, I guess I lose my whole squad.
Yeah, the 6-man kills the whole squad and both characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I didn't even get to swing my character. Yeah, I know, bud. Chill.
A little too overtuned, but yeah.
Which was funny to me that they hit the Iron Priest and left them alone.
Yeah, they left Death Shroud, they left Thousand Suns, they left Imperial Knights. I will say I think I'm bitter right now, but I will be grateful later on because I think Wolves would have come out the gate too hot with the Iron Priest. And we would have gotten a heavier-handed nerf. Whereas I think
maybe when they hit Death Guard and stuff in the next one, we'll scoot under the radar and be in a good spot.
Exactly.
All right. Well, anybody in the chat have any questions, or is there anything else you want to get into, Aiden?
No, not particularly. We talked about all the detachments, what detachments you're most excited about. You got any events coming up?
Yeah, not this weekend because I got a family thing going on this weekend, but the weekend after we have the almost functional training ground event here at the HQ. And then I'll have a couple events back to back after that, and then I'll be up at Nova.
Oh yeah, Nova is so fun, man. I've been going for a number of years.
Yep, yeah. When I was in Virginia, I always made it. Was in Florida, it was hit or miss which years I could make it, but I'm going this year. I got my ticket and room and flight and everything booked.
Brian's got a question for us. Question: where would you rate Arjac in all of our detachments? Well, Arjac, he is the best detachment. He is really. I think what detachment is Arjac best in? That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stormlance, you're probably not running Terminators much, so you can probably skip there. Although he's good and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Gladius, I like him in bold just because he plays into that 6-inch charge thing. And having advance and charge on him after you rapid ingress him is really, really nice. Champions of Fenris, First Company, anything that buffs Terminators, I think Arjac specifically would be really, really good in.
Yes, totally. He does really shine in Gladius, Beastlayer, and Bold. Champions and First Company for sure. And he honestly, go ahead.
I was saying, because our Terminator is so good, he's the only other character besides Logan that can lead them. So if you want 2 Terminator squads, you just take Arjac. Give them fight on death, anti-monster vehicle. I think he's good in all detachments if you want that second Terminator squad.
For sure. Saga the Hunter too, if you unlock the Saga and the fight on death with +1 hit and wound for the Terminators, like wow, that's really powerful.
Yeah, because depending on what you're charging, like they come as a 6-man. So if you're charging anything 5 or less, you're gonna auto get the buff. If you're charging like bigger units, you're gonna need a tag team with you to set it off. Which, if you're deep striking up, is sometimes hard to set off early in the game.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Arjac. I was a little bit underrated him when the Codex first came out, but I'm seeing the power. He just hits really hard in the Terminator squad that is so durable. He's just going to last around and just chew through things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Hogfather, there's got to be an interesting question. I'll let you take a stab at this.
I haven't played a bunch against them much recently, so this is going to be just off old thoughts and experiences. Just you're normally slightly faster than them, especially new wolves. So you want to over commit to kill stuff. Because I find if you think, oh, this should kill this, and this should kill this, and you go after a bunch of things, and then you leave them all alive, you kind of got to treat them like knights and like Necrons. You got to overkill stuff just to make sure it goes away because they don't have a lot of assets.
That's totally true. Pick a flank and just go all in on that flank. You're right. If you go for 3 charges into 3 different squads and all of a sudden those squads live with a guy or 2 guys each in the character, they'll just start winning those combats. You really want to isolate and just Definitely.
It also depends on your build and your detachment, because if you're running Logan and Arjek in reserve, and I don't know if you have Thunderwolves or some stuff in Impulsors, once they start moving, you could really deep strike on one side, swing like your whole army, and just go try to swarm a flank faster than he could respond to it. So just depending on what you're running, you can kind of set up middle and then deep strike and all advance over. Like if you're running Stormlance, you can all advance and charge. Or if you're running Bold, Ragnar's unit could, and one of the other units could. If you don't have advance and charge, then you're really just going to run over and stage for the next turn. So some of that depends on what your list is and what your detachment is.
Totally. Yeah. Hogfather, what is your detachment? I'm curious. And the one thing I found with Custodes is they're one of the few armies that is more durable than us. Yeah. So you really do have to pick and choose your engagements wisely.
And Iron Priests with heavy shooting, Custodes don't like that.
Yes. Yeah. Heavy shooting as well. Wolfen and Vendreads. Good for Saga.
Wolfendreads? Is he asking Wolfendreads?
Wolfen and Vendreads.
Wolfendreads and Vendreads. I guess they could be okay. Like the Vendreads give you bonuses to like charging and stuff. Wolfendread, if you're running other Wolfen and you're swarming in with Wolfen, giving the fight on death isn't bad.
For Murderfang, totally.
Yeah. Oh, Murderfang gives it right. Wolfen just what a Wolfendreads.
They have a blood surge.
Oh, that's not horrible.
It's not horrible, but also
there's better stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not big on other than Bjorn, I'm not big on any of the dreads right now. Other than like a Ballistus. I'm not big on any of the specific Space Wolf dreads other than Bjorn right now.
Yeah, totally. If you are running Wolfen and Vendreads, you really like them, you really want to run them. Saga the Hunter doesn't give them too many benefits because they're so expensive. They're a little hard to get in combat without advance and charge. I would lean more towards Stormlance or Beastslayer, maybe Bold. I don't think Bold gives them advance and charge, but like something to increase their mobility. And Beastslayer, of course, increases damage and stuff.
Yeah. So the only thing I would say about this Hogfather is unless they're vehicle heavy, you're not going to have the lethals up early because it's just against monsters and vehicle, right? It's not against
characters. So I think a lot of the squads do run characters.
All right, so if they're running character heavy, it'll be fine. But if they're running, because I've seen them before where they just run lots of their like units and not necessarily all of them have characters, you're not getting the lethals until you trigger the Saga. So depending on his build, you may or may not get that all the time in the spots you need it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. If you just run bare Custodian squads, they're kind of really tough without characters. So they're the one thing that Beastslayer would be bad into is really durable units that don't have characters.
Which is funny is Space Wolves fighting another Space Wolf list that ran like Max Wolfen and Thunderwolves without characters would be really, really hard to kill if you were in Beastslayer because none of your rules work against them.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like those units, the archetype of those units is so hard to kill.
Yeah. Or like if someone was like, "Oh, I'm running Death Guard," and they just ran the big bricks of Death Shrouds without the guys, characters. Or Deathwing. I've seen people run Deathwing Knights without characters specifically. Some of those builds could counter, especially if people start seeing Beastslayer a lot. They might start doing that more, taking their characters out of those durable units. So the Space Wolf builds are having problems with don't get their buffs.
Yeah. Mash. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed our videos. Also, I am currently, as is everyone, painting up Logan. I'm like halfway through, got all the base colors going. He's got to get a wash. That is an incredible model. That model is just gorgeous.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't get my stuff till yesterday, so I'm still in the building stage of everything, but
a lot to build and paint.
Yes. Yeah, I got to build the Terminators and Arjak and paint them first because I got the custom Logan I was working on mostly painted. So the actual Logan will be one of the last ones I do because I have a model to use for him right now.
Yeah, totally. That's a good idea.
All right. Any last questions from anybody? All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you again, as always, Aiden, for coming on and just talking wolves with me.
It's a pleasure. I'm still really enjoying them. They got a lot of bite. They're really cool. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Thanks for having me on.
And I saw your buddy Mark at ATC. Went over and said hi to
He
him.
was killing. He was just grinding souls at ATC.
Yep.
That dude is a headhunter.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Aiden, and we will catch you guys next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for watching Almost Functional Gaming. We appreciate the support of all followers of Russ and the Allfather. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional score tracker on Amazon. Everything helps support the growth of this channel, and we appreciate it.